Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Jeebs here, the AbbaCado Show. It's a makeup day. I had a lot of donos yesterday, and I promised I would come back and make up the last dono. So I've got like 7 donos here, and then we're going to wheel of cheeses on the way out. So there's going to be no more dono boosts, please. Thank you so much for those who may have considered they wanted to do so, but I figured I wanted to cheese out today. And God knows if you were here before I started recording this, I cheesed out with some really bad jokes. I'm sure that the Cados will let you know about that. Now, all the old man and moats are flying by at Mach speed right now. And so, yeah, I got a lot of my usual suspects here. The Cados, if you don't know, the Cados are what we nickname the chat now. And so I'm Abba, they're the Cados, all in, the AbbaCados. So were they nasty? They were kind of, I mean, they were a little, you know. So you know what we're going to do is we're just going to start catching up on the donos first. I've got 7 of them. And then, yeah, we're bringing back the band together. That's what we're getting the band back together is what we should be doing. And so those are just leftovers. We're going to hit those first, and then we're going right into the Wheel of Cheese, which I know that we haven't done a big run for. So I'm going to refresh my page and see if anybody has joined on the Wheel of Cheesy. I do not have the Wheel of Cheese pinned on purpose because I want to make sure nobody donos. However, every once in a while, I know that Patty Cakes or somebody will pop up the request form through the chat, and therefore you can put your hopeful cheese selection. You can cut the cheese any way you'd like in there. The more you request, it cuts the cheese. So yeah, that's the thing. Is it pinned? Oh yeah, there it is. Turnip did it for me, but he did it in a way where it was much more thoughtful. So yes, I'm sorry. Thanks, Patty Cakes. Yes, the form is pinned. He just took my message and bled it into the form in a kind of menstruation kind of way. We just kind of bled it into the form. Okay, hang on for a second. All righty. I'm in rare form today. It's cloudy outside here in Hawaii. Still kind of warm. Didn't sleep well last night, so I'm in a good move right now. And I'm going to do this for a while, and then I'm going to sleep like it's nobody's business. I have a little gummy bear tucked aside for me about 4 o'clock. It's a little one. It's only a 10 milligram. It's a little one. It's a little sativa one, you know. And then I'm just going to relax and watch the moon fly by for the rest of the evening. But before that, we do music. You guys ready? So let's go ahead and get going. I know that most people of these folks had already left. They're probably not here. We do know that we have the YouTube channel where I do export these eventually. I think it was Jakin said that his favorite song that we did yesterday got struck down on Twitch. So he's going to have to wait until I post it on YouTube. And I'll actually do that in the next day or two. So just so that you guys know. Gummy bear in a tin can. Square meal thinking outside of the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Anybody remember where that came from? Okay, while you remember that, let's go ahead. And let's start with our very first dono catch-up. This is from Derpy Cat Dog. It is a band. This band, let's see what the message is. Hey, yo, Jeeves, been really stressed out trying to find jobs. Oh, brah. Yeah, I know that. That could be kind of greasy. Yes, 7 is right. Been really stressed out trying to find jobs with only 1 interview since moving stateside a few years back, and I recently found my old iPod and decided to power it on and forgot about the song was on there, and it felt like a huge uplift in confidence listening to it, reminding me why I originally left Aotearoa, New Zealand. Okay. Well, Derpy Cat Dog, do not fear. That right job is coming your way, brah. The name of the song is Re-Entry. The name of the artist is Bruce Dickinson. So here we go, guys. Let's go. Oops, I forgot to sign into my thingy. That's why it's doing this. Already love this, man. Opening it up with a 6/8 or a 3/4, get me into that shanty vibe.
Say goodbye to us children on the sleigh ride to the moon. Blue and white in the distance. Not sorry I'm leaving.
It's giving me a little alter bridge vibes.
Now and then the earth rise fills my eye. Now and then the dark side fills the sky.
Oh, I can see how this is motivational to you.
Around the starlight warms my skin. Even in the blackness, there's a tune.
Oh, that was a really slick little note they laid in there.
Now that I'm not with you, I close my eyes and dream. Remember all my days as a prisoner of gravity. I lived a
Wow, what a unique kick drum sound.
and the future has begun. Sat here with my feet hung up and nowhere is mine.
I'm also thinking it sounds a little bit like the singer from Soundgarden.
Now and then the earth rise fills my dreams. Squeeze my fist in anger. Remember
That bass.
turn around, the starlight warms my skin. Every day in the blackness, we begin again.
Sounds like it's a pedaled out D, open tuning. Aman, can you check that for me?
Now and then the earth rise fills
Oh, C sharp, all right.
Squeeze my fist in anger. Remember what it means. Turn around, the starlight warms my skin. Every day in the blackness we begin. Welcome back to the human race, so very far from home. I know I should be lonely, but there's too much going on. I left this world
Such great lifting vibes, you know.
had begun to leave behind your mayhem, your chemistry I breathe.
Wow, Derp Cat Dog. That was, you know, first of all, I know you just landed. So everybody, Derp Cat Dog just came in more than halfway through his song. I could see where in your message, by coming across this song, it lifted you, it motivated you, it re-energized you, even though you're having, the challenge of finding the gig, and it reaffirmed. What I loved about your message is that how this song kind of put you in a place where it reaffirmed the reason why you did make that move. It's very unique where we find little nuggets in our world that remind us, especially when we're in a place where it's like we're not feeling like, oh, did I do the right thing, or I'm having such a hard time, or, and then you find something like this track that kind of not only reminds you of why, but without a doubt, this is the first time I'm listening to this track, I could see how this is kind of a uplifting kind of vibe, I love the fact that I thought it was D, but it's an open C sharp, I think it is, that it's tuned to. I don't think it's a capoed, because that'd be really way up there. but it looks like it was an open tuning of a C sharp. So you have that nice pedaled element through it, which are the two notes that are gliding through the whole thing, regardless of the changes. The bass player actually did, really a lot of the heavy lifting as far as giving it, I don't know, a little bit more of a push, a nudge forward in the arrangement, just because there's like a the way he's playing it and stuff. Definitely a Chris Cornell vibe with the vocals, I think, Open C, that's funny. So anyhow, it was a great track, Derpy. And you will find that job, bro. You will find that job, is what I'm saying. So good to have you hanging out here. So, oh yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you have bands like Soundgarden at the right time in somebody's creative part of their life. That's an indelible influence. I'm so whacked out of my mind with my compositions. I forget a lot of times how beautiful something like that is and can be. If you're just drilling down on a bunch of open chords and just moving around. Unfortunately, my bullshit self-confidence destroyer in my composition is if it doesn't have 12 changes in it, then it's not music. So I've got to fight myself to actually do something that stays tight and in a pocket. And I forget how beautiful a melody or musicianship can yield, and just letting that lay down and stay put. So anyhow, what is that Rick Beato thing? Oh my God, Turnip, hammering me with the Rick Beato. Next up is Jerdman. We're gonna get ourselves into some video game stuff, but this looks like a live, and it looks like someone's sight reading. This credits themes for the Super Mario World SNES has always been one of my favorites. Tom Brier was a ragtime enthusiast and a composer who became well known when Ron Odell, another ragtime composer, started uploading videos of Tom's sight reading video game music covers. I find it amazing the level of talent he has sight reading and improvising. Tom unfortunately became paralyzed from the neck down due to a car crash. Oh my God, fuck. In 2016, unable to play the piano anymore. These videos of Tom always brought joy to me and encouraged me to learn video game music covers on the piano. Great, love that. That's a sad one, guys. All right, so this is from Jerdman, the video game OST, Super Mario World, but this is the ending theme being sight read, like first time. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to say it to say it. Sight reading is when you literally put music down in front of the musician for the very first time, and they read it and they go. And they can manifest from the dynamics on there, or sometimes there's no dynamics that are marked in the music and they feel themselves through. But it's definitely that kind of incredible talent when you get to a certain place in your studies of music. So here we go.
So yeah, there will need to be a page removed in the middle. I'll get it for you.
It's pretty slow. Bop, 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 bop.
No, not at all. And I hate stride. I would have looked at this and go, can I do something else? It's just an amazing confidence and talent. He hasn't looked at his hands once. See, so you guys are saying he's improving at times, but I don't know because I don't know the track where the improv is coming in. I love the sound of that upright piano. I feel like I just walked into a Farrell's. If you guys remember what that was. Oh my God. Nope, not gonna do it. Oh, you know if you know. Did it really do this in the game? Speed up like this? Wow. A great modulation. He's not even reading the music. He's running it off from there. He's just building his own ending. Wow.
That's a fun tune, huh?
Listen to him. Oh, that's a fun tune, isn't it? Everybody else here is sweating bullets just watching him. Oh, it's a fun tune. Yeah, I was just dicking around. I'm just kind of playing stuff, in between, like, I'm warming up, to Liszt, the composer, if piano player. It is such an amazing thing to watch these musicians. If I ever have any kind of envy of any kind, it's the fact that these kind of individuals, there was a part of me that I do feel a little sad that if I really put my nose to it, back when I had the opportunity to really learn and dedicate and be a musician, that I potentially could have gotten maybe 1 out of 10, him being 10, maybe a 3 or a 4, but I didn't stick to it. But I did, and I was so fortunate because of just my lineage and stuff like that to have gone to hundreds of sessions where I'd be in the back chewing my nails, watching as the copyist would drop all these charts, like if my dad was doing a large, orchestral session or whatever the case is, and these musicians come in and they're talking, they're laughing, they're setting up their cellos, their instruments, piano, everything. And then as soon as my dad walks in and claps his hands, everybody gets ready. He goes, okay, we're going to start with this. And these people just sit there and they go, what are we doing here? Oh, all right. And they just are able not only to sight read with this kind of perfection, but interpret dynamics. It's just freaking magical. That's all there is to it. And I love watching musicians like this. One quick little side note. One of my favorite experiences, and was at the Magic Castle. There's this, I don't know if it's still there anymore. In Hollywood, there's a place called the Magic Castle. If it's still there, God bless them. But in the Magic Castle is where they did some of the most intense magic shows. You had to be like a member of it. It was really kind of a magic elitist, let's just say. You know, if you had money, you had a membership and stuff. There was one room where it was a pianist, and but it would be the keys are moving, but you could ask that pianist to play anything, and that guy would go, like, he would never answer you vocally. He'd answer you with like going bleep bleep, bleep, bleep. And whatever it is that you asked him, he knew. And I actually worked with a couple of these pianists when I was working at a restaurant, when I was bartending at Michelli's, which is a famous Hollywood restaurant, or by Cahuenga in North Hollywood, where they had the live singer, you know, the singing waiters and stuff. And Jeff Urban and David Shapiro, monster guitar pianists. And you'd have opera singers and people drop whatever you could in front of these guys. And not only were they able to execute it, but they can execute it while looking and talking over here and looking through, going, "Hey man, I need more meatball on my spaghetti sauce over here," and then be doing an aria. It's just absolutely mind-numbing. You know, so yeah, I worked with those guys. As a matter of fact, super side note, Dave Shapiro, I just mentioned, that was Ben Shapiro's dad. Yes, the Ben Shapiro. So I remember when he used to bring little Ben Shapiro in to play violin before he turned into Ben Shapiro, who everybody knows now. So I used to call him Little Benny Violin. I'm sure if I said that to him now, he'd put me up on the debating podium and throw a bunch of red herrings at me, but I'm just saying. Small world, isn't it? Okay. Great performance. Thank you. So, okay, here we go. Next up, hardcore. How are you, hardcore, if you're still here? Well, I don't know if you're back. Wait a minute. I did see one. Somebody left a comment on how important do I think a conductor is? Let me see. Where was that comment? DR said that. Well, it depends. I do want to answer this question. How important is a conductor? Well, the conductor actually is, depending on the kind of role. I've seen conductors that have just shown up and they have very small hand movement, and they're there because the orchestra is just looking at leadership and they just want the guidance. Because a lot of times, you know, musicians are very large, you know, Philharmonics have played, you know, incredible symphonies 300 times, so they know it inside and out. But it doesn't mean that a guy like Dudamel doesn't come in there and say, we are going to do something here that's going to be completely unique. You know him, he's very energetic, and he's Argentine. And, you know, so he might say, here, I want to hear this, and come, there you go. You know, it becomes an animated thing. But I've seen conductors go up there and just go, just to be, you know. I would have to say that the way I watched my dad conduct, I'd say 60% of the sessions my dad worked on is when he was doing string arrangements for artists, for their records. It was automatically kind of a click track, right? Because the string arrangements would come after the basic tracks. So the basic tracks are laid out there. Let's just say, so one of the string sessions that my dad did way back in the day, no one's going to remember this song, so I'll say it, but it was On the Wings of Love, Jeffrey Osborne. You know, on the wings of love, da 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 da. You know, I don't think you guys remember any of that, but anyhow, that track was down. So I went in on that session to watch him do that. And so there's really not a need for a conductor to be, you know, starting, you know, really watch the conductor to get your time in, because already there is, you know, a click track in there, you know, because the song has been printed already. And if the drummer is coming in, da, 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 you know, with the sticks, or there is an existing click track, you know. So, you know, when it came to my dad, he was just more conducting and making sure that the dynamics were executed that he wanted, you know. And of course there'd be a couple clams in the copying that have to get ironed out, but you know, so that's a little different. I hope I answered that question. That was kind of like a a long answer, but you got me going on that one. Okay. Oh, shit. I forgot something. Okay, hang on. I forgot something. Coffee in my microwave. That's what I forgot. All right, I'm back in. Sorry, guys. Man, I was jonesing for my coffee, and I didn't have any coffee. Or some kafafifi. Kafafifi? Kafafifi. All right. Okay, here we go. Is it still warm? Yeah, it's lukewarm. I mean, lukewarm. That's fucked up. Okay. Kafafifi. Okay, here we go. Here we go. True that, Aman. All right, back into the show. Pay the coffee fee. Okay, next up is Hardcore. Hardcore wants us to listen to such a melodic and moody track in his message. Sorry, Quado. Hardcore's suggested listen to here on Making Up Our Donos is Vangelis. The name of the song is Reve. Reve? I don't know if it's Reve, Reve. I don't know. We're listening to it. Here we go. Sorry about that little burp. Ooh, nice electric piano vibe there. Nice chord change. Make me pop up like that. I'm going to ask a really lame question. This is the same artist, Vangelis, that did Chariots of Fire, no? Oh, okay. Yeah, so apparently this was released in 1979. You know, he was one of the very first composers, too, that really utilized a lot of soundscape style influences in his compositions, and we're talking the late 70s. Yeah, very Pink Floyd-ish, too. You know, in the late 70s, there was not a lot of this going on. So he really solidified himself as this ambient, ethereal, abstract composer early on. Nice little pads in the background gliding. Starting to get a little slightly sexy with the riffage. Well, not the riffage, just the voicing of the melody. But what's a little bizarre, this doesn't sound like it's like a traditional Rhodes. I mean, it could be. Super laid back, man. Just a vibe. There's always been this little pattern in the back. You hear it darker, kind of percussive. He's kind of motored himself in and out of it a little bit. Oh, something's showing up now. Yeah. Oh, come to think of it, turn up your right. There's a little lead in on that. Like this could be like seeing kind of like a forerunner to what Blade Runner music or Chariots of Fire. Oh, you know what? Silent Zord. I totally spaced on that. I forgot. Parka, it just seems like he's leading a little bit more with the Yamaha EP sound. Rhodes is a little more distinctive. It has a little bit more of a mallet. Yeah, ye old CS80. Now you're getting a little funky, sexy R&B in the run there. Kind of like a unique meditation track. Yeah, I could see this definitely listening to this and letting your eyes just roll back in your head. You know? Definitely can go to sleep, you know. That Secret 10 track, I remember you. I know what you're talking about on that. I know. There it is. Don't leave me hanging, dude. Ooh, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 da, da. Oh my goodness, what a chill track to jump into. Well, at least we got this Hatton in here. I'm sure we're gonna, pull up in our music moving forward. But this was chill, and it knowing that it was Vangelis too. Vangelis. And then everybody was popping off and coming in talking about the fact that it was, full posture check. Everybody, posture check. Blade Runner composer as well, and of course Chariots of Fire. And it's really funny too because you can hear, like, I think at some point, I forgot who I was kind of chirping with here about, like there was a little bit of a almost light snare pattern that came in just from literally 15, 18 seconds of this 12 minutes track. but you can almost kind of start hearing the ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch, which of course was the staple for the very famous, Chariots of Fire theme track that everybody got used to. So Vangelis for the hiccups win. All right, guys. Next up, I'm not going to get this name right. Hadja's Quick Vanish. Hadja Quick Vanish. Hey, more video games. So Haji's Quick Vanish is the name of the individual that we're catching up on Dono here. We're doing some Mario Kart World. The name of this song is Rainbow World. You guys, I know a lot of you guys played that, but do you recognition this, the name here, this section of the game? Let's see what this is all about. It's called Rainbow Road. I said world, but it's road. Sounds like the volume's kind of low, so I'll speak slowly or lowly. Wow, this is really slick. Listen to that drum work. Woof. Dude, this is gnarly. It's just so hard to believe this is video game music, you know? I mean, not really anymore for as long as I've been doing this with you guys, but... Oh, caving, was it a tough game to play? Listen to that arpeggiation in the back. Hear it? Going through the whole thing. Yeah, Silent, I hear that. I love the arpeggiation in the back. Listen for it. Great lead playing. Blows me away, man. It's just so cool. Fun bass line. Great use for that little vocal patch. Oh, another section. It's another section, but it's in the same game zone. Because it seemed like the music was seamless, or maybe this is a mashup. I don't know. Full track, intermission, seamless, minimal SFX. Really nice, super clean sound out of that guitar lead. It's not overly saturated. Nicely overdriven though. Uh-oh. What's going on here, guys? Okay, this sounds like a typical video game kind of switch over section. Is this the main theme? Maybe this is just for the ending? Oh, after that was the final lap and they already went past the last flag and this is like the celebration song at the end? Hey, I recognize a little something there in some of the music I heard. Da-da-da-da. How funny, out of everything there, that's what I recall. Well, listen to the waka 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 guitar. Like maybe it's just moving while credits are rolling or something, I'm assuming, you know? Oh, God. Into a fade biscuit. What an I'm not going to say anything that I haven't already said a million times about the music with all these video games. Just absolutely fascinating, wonderful, detailed, arrangements, heavy, you know. There's a part of me that thinks that for the composers who are lucky enough to get into video game composition, kind of got a safe haven of creativity and productivity and production and musicianship and everything, because they just cut loose. You know, there's so many different games I've listened to music to before, and I've heard so many different types of compositions. It's like they just get to cut loose. you know, and they get to really push all the elements of, you know, musicianship and composition and everything without worrying about, you know, I think one of the unique things that I've experienced watching this in the journey is that whatever composition I've ever done for media, for TV, for film or whatever, it's always, you know, it's always that thing that's how, you know, music's important, but it's that thing that we want to add into the complete pie and not necessarily make it stand out, because we want the whole thing to be a single project that involves all the different kind of creative works in it. There's a lot of times where I've listened to video games where I'm just going, this music just smokes the video game play or something like that. And it's not that big of a deal in the sense that the developers are like going, oh my God, we ruined it by putting in great music. Have we ever heard something like that? You know, maybe it has happened, and I don't know it. If somebody had said at some point, some dev or something like going, oh man, we overdid it on the music, and now, you know, more people are talking about the music than the game. I don't think that's ever wannabe. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened, but I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, want to be safe is that more media Hollywood vibe, you know? Watch and just be ginger. Unless you're like, you know, John Williams or something, they go to you because you have that kind of thing, you know? So, excuse me. Caving, are you talking about the latest Doom music that just came out? That last iteration? If you're thinking about the safe pattern or path that composer took or whatever, if that's what you're talking about, I agree with you on that. If that's what it is you're hitting on, you know, I think I said it while I was listening to some of the new Doom music that it seemed like these guys were like, I don't know if I want to stray too far from this, but we have to be original, but, you know, something like that. I don't know. Next up, Rotten Soundgarden. Wow, Rotten Soundgarden wants us to listen to what's HR Puffin stuff. HR Puffin stuff. What is that? HR Puffin stuff. Isn't that a cartoon game from Rotten Soundgarden? HR Puffin stuff. You can't get a little, but you can't get enough. I know. He knows I'm BSing. That's why he's laughing. Hey, Tsunami Jeebs and the Kados. Yes, that was Tsunami Jeebs. That's how long ago you probably put that in there, right? Yeah, wasn't that a trippy show? You had to be so high. You know, the talking flute, you know? That's what I used to say to my ex-girlfriend. Here's my talking flute. And then I would show them HR Puffin stuff. What do you think I was going to say? Bruh. All right, let me just get back on track. The End was a Canadian band from the 2000s. In my opinion, they were more creative than others in the genre, but split up after this third album, another group that I think deserves more attention. The name of the band is The End, and the name of the song is Dangerous. Let's go. All right. Beep. Oh, I wasn't expecting this, but this is badass how they're starting this. Giving me little Slipknot vibes. Great riff. Can you hear that mid-chimey metal sound in the bass? Such an important part to this riff, or the sound behind it. Maybe there's Morse code in this right here. This is badass. God, what a great tone of that guitar, but listen to where the bass, with that metallic nose, and the sound, the bump at like 3K. Hey, Lisa. God, these guys are badass. I'm hearing a little Sam Kinnison's voice in there. I don't know why. For some reason, you know, where it says "I am dangerous." These guys, with their syncopated, you know, works over the eighth notes. You know, once again, it's just for me when I get to a certain point where I'm hearing, you know, syncopation or unique rhythm patterns. You know, where emphasis on, you know, offbeat kind of things that your body would naturally, your head would naturally land on the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One of the things that I've become fond of, for the lack of better words, is how these bands shape their guitar tones. You know, and there's times where you think, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, if it's going to be chuggy, everything's got to be on 11, you know, saturation, overdrive, and everything. Then you realize this, what's happening is these guys are using very tailored, unique overdrive sounds mixed with saturation. And I know there's like an EQ. There's a very strict EQ, I think, in the gent or chug parts of guitar players where they really just scoop off, you know, a nice little butt, you know, from about 500 down. And then really from maybe like about 8K up, there's a nice, you know, shelf that just knocks off on there. So there's a method to the madness. This one had probably the least amount of the heavier saturated vibe, excuse me, but the most impact as far as the chugginess and arrangement. You know, there was a little bit of Meshuggah in there as well. So, but this was a great choice. And this one, actually, I just put it on my playlist because I want to listen to it again. There's a couple things that I heard in there that I want to kind of lean back into. So, yes. Next up, Underwater Dojo. Are you here, Underwater Dojo? Okay, so let's see here. Underwater Dojo says, yo, bro, here you go. This song's my favorite Freebird solo. Glad you didn't crash your board riding the tsunami. I did not crash my board riding the tsunami. You're right. So the name of the band is Testament. The name of the song is Trail of Tears. This is from Underwater Dojo. And he just showed up and said hi in the chat. Everybody say hi to him. All right. I might as well do my own riff while all right. The clean side, the clean work behind this lead work kind of is giving me Metallica vibes. Nice backgrounds. That's a little bit of a alternative. Little Stone Temple Pilot right here. Stone Temple Pilot, not Pilot. Yeah, you're right. More like an Alice in Chains 2 garden, yeah. That bass, though, the bass is real rattly and low back there. Vocals reminding me a little of Metallica.
You ride with the wind so far away. The spirits will guide you. No more sorrow.
Like right there.
Look back, your freedom will follow. You're flying so free. You can't see on a trail of
I like that he's sitting in his neck pickup on this. Ooh, great drum fill there. Volume ups. I like that. That was a great track. I loved there was that back and forth and influence for me in my head between some Metallica and some Stone Temple Pilots and some Soundgarden. Maybe there's a little bit of the Metallica. Jesus Christ. That's Vangelis and Metallica. Chariots of Doom instead of Chariots of Fire, I guess. I don't know. But that also the chord pattern too, really lent it to be very powerfully melancholy as well. And also the vocals were able to snap off. Now, as far as that lead was concerned, I really felt that lead in a very human way. You could, there's times where it's overly perfect, if there's such a thing, for those of us who like to be overly perfect. Master of Chariots, yeah, that's a good one. But I like the interwoven tap on, tap offs, hammer on, legato, and then pick. I think the opening of the very first part of the solo was a sweep. But that's such kind of an unsung part of when people sometimes break down a solo and say, "Wow, what a great solo!" and that was fantastic. Is those kind of particular dynamics that. If you were to write that on a piece of music, it would actually have these lines saying that this is a sweep. Do this as a legato, even though it'll say tap. Pull on. A tap off, pull on, pull off. I don't know, whatever. Kind of a thing. If you saw that on paper, but there's so many different dynamics that go on in the solo. It's not the guy just excuse me, picking all the way through. And if it is, it's usually, you know who's notorious for being a big-time legato player is the master of, classical metal would be Yngwie. Yngwie is one of those incredible musicians at the right hand. A lot of it's legato work. Just a lot of running off and pulling off and stuff like that. Demi-legato, that's funny. So, and it has a very unique sound, And then you have alternative picking, and you have the Guthrie Govan styles and all the guys in between it and stuff like that. And so, anyhow. So, the last dono makeup before we go into Wheel of Cheese is for Brexter. Brexter's here, I think. There you are. What's up, buddy? I'll cage my voice. I think your girlfriend might be looking in the background. I promise not to say any foul mouth stuff. Well, I really am. I'm pretty tame, aren't I? So that's what I'm saying. So how are you, Brexter? I hope you're doing well. Okay, so the request messages per Ernie, the girlfriend. The girlfriend. Ernie. Is that Ernie? Ernie, is that? Oh, that's great. What a name. How you doing? How you doing? I see what you did. Because I did that last time. Good play. So, let's see what's going on here. This is her current favorite by them. Them is Grim Salvo, guys. We are going to be listening to Grim Salvo. The name of the song here is Opera of the Urchin. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let's see what this is all about. All right.
A shell bursts open, and the baby Brier struggles to emerge. It is what looks like a heartless organ. That's real.
Trippy video. Got that sub bass.
I don't know what's stopping the purge from popping off. Talking soon, Freddy got figured, then he ran into his room. Then he found the knives and he found the super glue. Now you wanna fight till the red turns blue, till the feds come scoop. Brit city, no piggy, no pity, mud sticky. All these Freddy's and sweaters at the door committee. Don't try to pretend, didn't act so silly.
Nice, I like that. Oh, this is badass, right?
You just mad that I cracked it before you could start to unwrap it. I just wish you could go back to the past to see how you acted. Always a spaz, but never impacted. Surrounded by actors with bad breath, mad stress, black vest, bad breath, black death, sad threat, grab bread, smash hits.
Ooh, pretty badass. Backgrounds sound great. Sound generated, but they sound great. As subtle as the hi-hat change is what makes this flex up a level.
Those who succeed get a meal and calories. stands between life and death.
Ernie, that was super badass. If that's your favorite track, man, thank you for bringing it into the house here. I was fully into that track. The video was a little hard for me to eyeball. I was trying to, but I was able to catch the storyline. The unique way that they treated the vocals in the mix, you know, really super hard. There's a plugin called a Doppler plugin that will give you this really super wide stereo imaging and very unique, let's just say chatter. That works really well on voices. So it's a possibility they use something like that. The cadence of the spoken word part of it, that constant da 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 da, you know, allowed a lot of space for the arrangement with the drums and all the other background instrumentation. Was actually less than that. There was a lot of half notes, whole note work stuff going in there. Really super lit into the part where the clean vocals came in and those background vocals. And like I said, those background vocals sound like they could have been manufactured. And I'm not saying that even if it was, it's a bad thing. It was just so overly perfect. And what I mean by that is there's plugins out there where I can go, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I would take that signal and feed it through this, and it would give me, if I decide to, you know, send it through a major pattern, you know, a major chord, it would spit out 6 or 7 harmonies to that, and that's not a bad thing. You know, a track like this isn't anywhere near thinking about quote unquote being authentic in instrumentation and stuff. But as a track, I'm actually, hang on, there we go. I just put it into my little playlist. Thanks, Ernie. What are you guys doing? Just hanging out, watch. It's a Saturday, and you're watching me, and you're listening to me. Aren't you guys out maybe doing a barbecue, you know? Doing something fun outside, partying, you know? Anyhow, so guess what? We're going to go into Wheel of Cheese now.